So I was asked to come share a big idea today, a burst of brilliance that's contributing to addressing some of our community's most intractable challenges. I don't want to disappoint, but I hate to say what I have to share isn't that brilliant. In fact, it's probably something that we all know intuitively. Today, I want to talk about family homelessness and the thousands of children and their parents who are sleeping on friends' couches, who are living in cars, in our shelters, and on our streets. My idea is pretty simple. We don't have to accept this in Spokane. It doesn't have to be this way. Brilliance is not required to figure out a way that we provide a safe, affordable place for parents and their children to live. It's understandable if many of you in the room feel like family homelessness is an unsolvable problem. We have over 3,000 students in Spokane public schools experiencing homelessness alone. We have rising housing costs, increased polarization in our local politics, and a steady drip of news stories highlighting the challenges associated with family homelessness and all homelessness. The causes of homelessness are myriad. They're very complex. They range from systems of inequity, increased housing costs, adverse childhood experiences, lack of adequate behavioral health care, lack of access to treatment for substance use disorder, lack of access to early learning services, and the list could go on. In fact, the stories of homelessness are as diverse and unique as the people experiencing it. In the face of so many challenges causing family homelessness, I won't blame you for thinking that brilliance is required to solve it. But I can tell you that no individual, no institution is coming with a brilliant solution. No one is coming with a silver bullet to end family homelessness. But it isn't an unsolvable problem. We can and we are able to do something about it. And all it takes is for us to come together as individuals, as representatives of institutions, and each commit to doing small things. If we do this, we can solve big problems. And I want to illustrate this point by telling you about Gonzaga Family Haven, which is an affordable housing community developed, built, and operated through a collaboration of dozens of individuals and institutions, each doing their small part to provide families with a safe place to live, with access to education, support to overcome past trauma, encouragement to achieve their goals, and the opportunity to build a better future. The vision for Gonzaga Family Haven is that every family, every child who lives there has the opportunity and the means to change their lives. That children won't have to experience the trauma and the challenges faced by their parents, and that they grow up in an environment where they belong, where they are loved, where they are celebrated, and where they're supported to achieve their dreams. Now, this vision was born of a simple conversation between the leaders of Catholic Charities, Gonzaga University, and Gonzaga Prep. They were seeking to make a meaningful impact on the lives of the most vulnerable and asking themselves what could be done for the families and the children of Spokane. So these leaders said, well, we need help. And they called together a much larger group of stakeholders, including Head Start, Spokane Public Schools, the Logan Neighborhood Council, the Salish School of Spokane, participants of Catholic Charities programs, including the Rising Strong program, the Northeast Community Center and the Zone, St. Al's Parish, the City of Spokane, and many others. Now, we spent months meeting and discussing what it would take to achieve our ambitious vision and what role each of us could play. Gonzaga stepped up to offer support from their Center for Community Engagement, and they made a long-term commitment to provide student volunteers, on-site educational programming, and opportunities for residents to someday be GU students. The Salish School took a lead role in helping design a community that reflected the language and culture of the Salish peoples. St. Al's parishioners donated furniture, clothing, household items, and much more so that every family moving into their new home would have what they need to be comfortable. And now this is the cool thing about this. They didn't just donate the furniture. They created a catalog of furniture that families could review and pick out what would be right for their home. That's how far they went. Isn't that amazing? Head Start offered to open an early learning facility to provide services for infants and young children. GPrep committed to student and faculty volunteers, as well as access to their sports fields. The Logan neighbors and program participants from Catholic Charities Rising Strong helped ensure the program included amenities and features that would serve families and enhance the whole community. These amenities include things like a splash pad that anyone can come and play in the Logan neighborhood. The City of Spokane sold us their land and vacated unused streets so that we could create a campus free of pass-through traffic. So each of these organizations came together. Not one of them, not any individual, could have made this project happen in isolation. But together, we really have created something truly special. Now, before sharing Gonzaga Family Haven's impact on the lives of its residents, I want to take a step back and talk about the project itself. At its most basic level, Gonzaga Family Haven provides 74 homes for families who've experienced homelessness and hardship. The campus includes 60,000 square foot park, a quarter-mile bike trail, a community garden, a splash pad, 20,000 square feet of community building space. And in that space, there's a reflection room. There's a Head Start facility for children. There's access to counseling and behavioral health care, before and after school programming, and tutoring and learning programs for children and adults alike. Most importantly is not the building, but it's the sense of community, the sense of belonging that Gonzaga Family Haven has. This project was developed through an investment of over $26 million raised by Catholic Charities through the Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Program, the state's Housing Trust Fund, and some other private donations as well. As you can see, the families who make Gonzaga Family Haven their home have more than a place to live. They have early learning options for their children. They have support to advance their parents' education. They have places to play, places to reflect, and places to relax. It truly is a haven that is free from the stresses and the traumas of the outside world. Through our on-site staff and partners, we're all working with families to help them grow now, and most importantly, to give them the tools they need to be successful and improve the odds of the next generation. And we know it's working. Over 94% of people who become housed with Catholic Charities remain permanently housed after 2 years. We see an average growth in their monthly income by over $700 in their first year of residency. During that same time, we see their level of need drop by 30%. Now, that level of need is measured by a tool called the SPDAT, which is, I'm not going to go into the details today, but it measures how vulnerable someone is at a general basis. It's used internationally. Although we're in the early stages of this project, we already are seeing results. In fact, there's 3 children who are attending and excelling at G-Prep right now. And we have kids who are engaging with our tutors in programs that help them read and play. We have participation from hundreds of volunteers in our community, including G-Prep and Gonzaga students who give of themselves in countless ways to support our residents. These results, this impact is really amazing. They may even seem like they're the result of brilliance, but as I hope I've shown, they aren't. Each partner committed to be present, to be part of the project, to do what they do best, and whether that's representing their neighborhood, sharing their language and culture, committing to providing educational and early learning services, or just being present to form a relationship with families who are struggling, to let them know that they matter. These small things add up in meaningful ways. Now, everyone in this room can be part of solving big challenges like family homelessness. You may not know it, but you do have something meaningful to share and to help us come together as a community. We have volunteers, for example, who hold a knitting class. We have people who are retired accountants who help with tax prep. We have retired neighbors who serve as crossing guards. A comic book store right next to Gonzaga Family Haven, they actually created a voucher program so that kids who do good deeds at Gonzaga Family Haven, they can receive a coupon and they can go redeem that coupon at the comic book store for candy and treats. Small things add up to big changes. When you show up like our partners did, when you decide that children and their families don't need to be homeless in our community, that we don't need to accept that as a reality, when we come together, when we do our part, we can make big things happen. This isn't brilliant. It's not even terribly complex. There are 132 kids who are going to go to sleep tonight in a safe, clean, and permanent home because of the small things, because we decided that they should and we could make a difference. Now, if you're from Spokane and you'd like to be part of Gonzaga Family Haven, please do reach out to me. You can make a big difference. If you're from somewhere else and you want to make a change in your community, reach out too. We're happy to share our process. We're happy to share our funding model. We're happy to share our program models. We can share our designs. These are other small things that we can do to help end family homelessness. Now, it's been a pleasure to share the story of Gonzaga Family Haven with you today. I thank you so much for your time, and I want to thank many of whom are in the room today, all the partners who came together to make the project a huge success. I hope you feel encouraged, and although you and I may not be brilliant, it's not required. We can still do big things together. Thank you very much.